one of the most important things, get comfortable looking in the mirror at yourself. Yeah, when I say that, I don't mean literally. I don't just mean literally the mirror. Yeah, the mirror of your soul. Like, because your heart tells you things. Your heart tells you when this is wrong or when this is right, or your heart will tell you you're walking down a particular road that's not for you. Listen to your heart. Learn to love. Like, learn to love. I mean, genuinely, I'm not talking of the lustful love. Learn to love. Like, that genuine love that you have for your brethren, that genuine one. That should be the love that we all have for one another. If we're talking about it takes a community to raise these children, how can we raise these children when we ain't got no love for one another? Because for us to raise each other's children, we need to have respect for one another. There's a friend of mine, he sees my daughter certain times when she's coming from school because he's picking up his daughter. He stops and he sees her, she stops, she shows him respect. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? These little things is what builds our kids. Being able to be told, I used to be scared that my dad's friends or somebody would tell my dad if they saw me out at a particular time or doing a particular thing. Now you got kids that will walk on the road with a spliff in their hand and they don't care if they see their brethren's dad. They will bun the spliff in front of their brethren's dad. Do you understand? There's a lack of respect for ourselves, and that lack of respect for ourselves has gone into our children. So we want to see something different in our kids. We have to see something different in ourselves first. And that's as simple as it is. Learn to love yourself. Learn to respect yourself. Really respect yourself. Because if you really respected yourself, you wouldn't be doing certain things. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So learn to respect yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to look into the mirror at yourself. Look into your soul and respect it. Respect what it's telling you. If it's telling you, no, that's not for you. Them people that you're rolling with, that's not for you. Or that move you want to make, that's not for you. Respect it, because that's God. Whether you believe it or not, that's God, man. So learn to love yourself. Learn to love one another, man.
For you, what does music mean to you? The mind is the most powerful thing we have known to us. There's nothing, as I said last time when we spoke, as humans, we're animals.
Yeah.
And the only thing that separates us between any other animal out there is our brain.
Yeah.
But it's a thin line. Like, it can be triggered due to trauma and that. What would you think is important to just keep us sane as possible?
I'll be real with you, yeah. You see, the mind, yeah, it's probably one of the least, that sounds a bit weird, it's the least understood thing for a lot of us as individuals. We don't really understand how our mind works. Most people, yeah. Because for one, for you to understand how your mind works, you got to spend a lot of time by yourself. Yeah, that's one of the most important things, yeah. And then most people aren't going to spend time by themselves unless they're in trouble, whether that be jail, whether that be hospital, whether that might be somewhere where something's happened to you and you're on your own. Because most people ain't on their own. It's either you're going to have the kids, your missus, your friends, your parents. There's always going to be people there. So you never really get to understand what this thing's doing, because you're never really looking in the mirror long enough to get to see who you are, understand who you are. But your mind, like you said, it's probably it's the most powerful thing out here. My dad used to tell me when I was young, your brain is the best computer ever created in this world. It's more powerful than any calculator, any man-made laptop, computer, wherever it may be that they say is this new thing, it travels at this speed or what. No, your brain is more powerful than all of it. And at the same time, because it's got all that power, there's also all that danger of what it can do. Something so powerful can kill you. It can destroy you. That's why you will see people walking down the road or running down the road and you're saying to yourself, what's wrong with this guy? Oh, this person looks like they lost it. Or this looks like this. Or someone's running down the road naked. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, did you hear about that brother? I was running down the high street naked. Because the mind is fragile.
Very fragile.
It's fragile. It's so powerful, but it's fragile. And because we live in a world that there's things that are constantly there to tap on your brain and make you want this or make you want that or make you think this way, opinions, ideas, suggestions. Even the way they teach you in school, they feed your brain with a load of stuff to basically turn you into somebody that's ready to be a part of the society, to basically become sheep. But they don't really teach you in school how to really use your brain. Really, they don't. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Because to really use your brain to its real possibilities, you're going to become a leader. You're not going to be a follower. You're not going to just be sheep. So who's going to really show you about that from a young age? The society ain't, the government ain't, your school ain't. So it's probably down to just your parents to try and put these things in you. This has to be strong, because there's constant knockbacks. There's constant knockbacks all the time, even down to Instagram and Facebook and all these social network sites. People live off likes and comments.
Yeah.
Because it feeds their brain with endorphins. It feeds their brains with something it's like a representation of love. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So a girl might get 100 followers. Another girl might get 500 followers. They may used to be friends. All of a sudden, they're not chatting no more. Trust me. All of a sudden, they're not chatting no more. It might sound simple, but all right, I'll give you an example. There was a dude there I saw in Shepherd's Bush one day when I was making a video. Yeah, I was shooting a music video. He said to me, right, Ox, what go on? How's things? And I said, yeah, man, you see my Facebook, man. I'm just trying to do this thing, focus on the music. He goes, yeah, I saw it still, but I didn't want to comment because I don't want to be like, like everyone's on Ox and da-da-da. What is wrong with you, man?
Sure, love
Where's your
and
mind
support.
at? Where's
Yeah.
your mind at? Do you get what I'm saying? So, bro, you have to look after your mind and keep a healthy state of mind. I read something the other day. Some people say a glass is half full. Some people say a glass is half empty. Bro, there's water in the glass, fam. There's people dying of dehydration, fam, that can't even get water. There's people that have to walk 5 miles every morning to get water before they go to school, fam. For their little brothers and their sister and their mum and that to wash and make food. 5 miles, bro. Do you know how long that is?
I used to be one of those kids back in the day.
Do you understand the thing? So when someone tells me, oh, my day's going, I might say to someone, oh, what's up, man? How's your day going? Oh, it could be good. What are you on about? Fam, you're alive. You woke up this morning. That's the mindset I try to carry. Do you know what I'm saying? Because of the dark days that I've seen, I try to carry a positive mindset and I try to put things in place to make my mind stay strong and stay full of good ideas, bro. Good positive ideas, because that's what's going to keep you striving and keep you walking this walk.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's powerful to look after your mind, because for one, all too well about that. Take us back when you got, I'm sure a lot of people follow you and know you got section. The first time, we're going to jump into that, but before we go on, honestly, I appreciate you coming on and actually sharing, because one of the things that we have, I think, I'm going to speak for men.
Yeah.
I think men suffer with this more than women do. We don't speak. Definitely. We don't speak. We touch on the surface. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
100%.
Because if I say I'm speaking to you, if I show you the real me, we're scared that we're gonna be perceived as being weak.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with Francis? What's wrong with?
Yeah, facts.
Man, it's soft, isn't it?
Yeah, facts.
No. I personally believe it takes courage and strength to speak. And as you said, because the mind is so fragile, it's only a matter of time if you just hold everything in. It's only a matter of time before you say, fuck.
Yeah, man.
It's too much. So as a person who's been through it, and super, super glad that you came out of the other side, both sides. Take us through the first time. What was that experience like?
Like being sectioned, like you see what you just said just now when you said, oh, the pressure's piling up, or just how you described it, and then all of a sudden it's like poof, Sometimes the warnings aren't even there. See the warning signs, like they ain't even really there. So because most people don't have a real understanding of what it means to go mad per se, or be in depression. Nobody can really describe to you in detail what depression is, because everybody's depression more than likely is slightly different, because their traumas are slightly different. Do you understand what I'm saying? So more than likely you won't really be prepared to be sectioned. Like it's not nothing that you're not going to be like, right, I'm on my way to being sectioned. Like no one's going to say to you, even this, no one's going to say to you, if you carry on how you are right now, more than likely you're going to be sectioned in a year's time. You're not really going to hear that. You're just on this journey, and all these different things are happening to you, and you're feeling feelings that you don't fully understand. Like with me, the year or the 6 months leading up to me being sectioned, I went back to Africa for the first time from coming to England. I went back to Nigeria. I met my mum. I met my little brother for the first time. This is like a child that my dad had in secret, basically, that we found out about years later. So I met him for the first time. I met two of my older brothers that I hadn't seen since I was like probably 4. One of them was in jail. So I've gone to the jail to see him, bruv, crying in the jail, bruv. Man's bawling in the jail, fam. Like, this is my big bro. Like, I used to cut my hair when I was like 5. I love this dude. Like, bro, I ain't seen him in yonks, fam. The guy looks just like me, bro. The guy's in jail. So seeing all these different things, spending time with my mum, I didn't really know her, like, but just seeing her, and I'm seeing parts of me in her. I'm seeing my sisters in her. I'm seeing all this stuff. Like, a lot of it was a lot to take. I saw 3 of my best friends that I grew up with. I went to find them, cuz. So I've got to Nigeria. I've told my sister, find out where Namo is, find out where David is, and find out where Yomi is, Yomi and Shola. Bro, I drove miles, fam, to find these bras, blood. So that experience of Nigeria in 2009, cuz, it played a major role in putting something in me, yeah? And when I got back to England, I'd had my daughter was born. So all this stuff came, and it was only like 2 years before I'd been shot. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I hadn't really recovered from the shooting properly, like mentally, you know what I mean? Physically, I was still struggling. So all of a sudden, I'm just feeling loads of rage, bruv. Loads of rage. And at the time, it was the first ever time I started writing songs, 2010. Writing songs, trying to go studio, record them. And the rage was unexplainable. Bro, I'd be driving, I would just start crying, bruv. Thinking to myself, why am I crying, bruv? And I couldn't understand it. But the tears wouldn't stop coming out. I'd get emotional, get mad emotional. And at the time, I was selling a lot of skunk at the time. Yeah, so I was smoking a lot of dro and doing a lot of like retail therapy. I would buy things like every other day, go out and buy trainers, go out and buy a tracksuit. And all these things, they were just like stopgaps. They were like stopgap therapies. I might feel good for a day or for 2 days, and then I'd get this thing again. I was so angry at my friends. And all this was PTSD, but I didn't know at the time. Do you see what I'm saying? I was angry at my friends because subconsciously, when I look back at it now in retrospect, I got shot and none of my friends did nothing for me. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, the people that was there, everybody ran when the bro pulled out the gun. So the people were there, they weren't my friends, innit? Do you see what I'm saying? And even one of the guys that was there, bro, he was living at my yard at the time. I'd given him somewhere to stay. Me and my dad gave him a place to stay. So all these different little things, and then people's reaction of how they treated me, all this stuff, I think it just laid there. Because I'm thinking to myself, you did Bound to Blow, you did all these different things. But then I'm finding myself on my own, bro, trying to do bare little things with this music thing, like I said, and not getting no support, not getting no help, not getting anybody saying, right, Ox, what do you need me to do? And to me, it just didn't make no sense because, right, I did Bound to Blow. There should be bare people running to help me. But life ain't like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so all these things I didn't understand, the abandonment issues with my mum, loads of stuff with my dad. There was just loads of different issues, fam, that I didn't really understand. And then the ultimate one was the actual PTSD from the actual shooting, which was never diagnosed. Do you get what I'm saying? So it led to me just getting into fights, getting arrested. I was arrested. But things were happening to me that anybody would tell you, like, that don't make no sense. That's not Ox. Ox got arrested outside King Street, outside a bar. He was fighting with feds. Are you sure it was Ox? That don't sound like Ox. That's not Oki. Loads of those kind of things were happening to me that didn't fit with who I was, as in, that's not Oki's personality. He don't do all them things, like, but these are the things that was going on. And eventually, I basically got arrested at my dad's house, yeah? Because I called the police when me and my dad had an argument. So I basically called the feds to basically reassure my dad that he was safe, because there a big mirror in the house smashed while we was arguing. Like, and you know, African man, like, he's thinking his son, like, what's happened to his son? So I said to myself, you know what? Before this man thinks like I'm my mum's devil child, I'm going to ring the Jakes, and the Jakes are going to come. He's going to see that, oh, he's not under threat, and then that situation would subside. But now, when the police come,
So So hold on. You and Paps are arguing,
Yeah.
but this must be the bravest argument you ever had. Because
Yes,
as an
of course.
African
in my
man,
life. Yeah, in my life.
you don't pipe up to.
No, but this is one of the first times I think I've said to my dad, no, like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not talking. I don't. It's one of the first times that he's probably seen. I think that's the fear that I saw on his face that made me call Jakes, because I'd never seen my dad feel threatened by me before. I'd never seen that, but I saw it in his eyes in a way where I said, no, let me just phone the police.
Just to reassure Paps
Yes.
that, look, Paps, they can come get me.
Yes.
You safe.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't really hard. I didn't think they would arrest me, because I didn't think I'd done anything wrong. It was more the threatening behavior. That's what was scaring him. So my idea was, if I call the police, they'll come, and then that, just them coming and him seeing that I phoned them, that would, he would just be like, okay, he's not wilding out. And then the police would just maybe settle the argument and then go. That's what was in my mind. But they've asked him, are you okay? And he said, no, I'm not okay. Like, I feel threatened by my son. And that was why I was arrested at that time. But then my behavior in the cell when I was at the police station, over a period of, I think it was like 6 hours, it was too erratic. And they just basically said to themselves, there was 3 doctors that came into the room, and between the 3 doctors, they watched me on the camera for a period of time. And one of the guys, he was like a Pakistani guy, he basically said, your behavior is 1 minute you're happy, and then I can see you crying, and then you're angry. It's way too erratic, and for that reason, you're going to be sectioned today. And literally, it happened just like that.
What was that moment like when you heard? Because you still thinking there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
You still
Fully.
thinking, what the hell? Like,
Fully.
What was that moment like, just hearing those words, you being sectioned?
I honestly didn't understand what he meant, because I didn't know what a sectioning was. So when he said, you're going to be sectioned under arrest, I just thought it was a charge, like a charge for something. And I'm still thinking to myself, charge me for what? So like, I just have to talk to the solicitor, because what do you mean? But they were doctors. You could see they were doctors. Do you see what I'm saying? So it was just weird. I didn't understand, bro. I didn't get it. And I honestly thought to myself, this weren't real. I thought to myself, because I literally think I had a psychotic like episode where I actually thought what was going on was either, I couldn't make sense of it. I actually thought there was a Channel 4 show, yeah, that was going around at the time. Yeah, this is around 2010, where Channel 4, they did something with this artist called Risky from Ladbroke Grove, where basically they followed them for 4 days, and you saw them performing, you saw them doing different things. That Channel 4 was with them in their yard, recording music, and it was just like a following this artist. So I spoke to this artist, the Risky guy. I told him, yeah, give my details to Channel 4. Da, da, da. So a part of my brain was telling me, nah, this is a part of the Channel 4 thing. Like, don't worry, your family's involved in it. Like, they've set it all up.
Just a prank.
Bro, my brain was just going all over the place trying to make sense of where I was, but it just didn't all add up. So like, bro, I'll be honest with you, me hearing that, I didn't understand what the guy was saying, man. It's only when I got to the hospital that night, and then not even then, probably the next day, that's when it really settled. When like my brother and a couple of my sisters and people came to visit, and literally my brother prayed for me, bro, like in a room full of bare people that people say is mad. And I remember my sister telling him, no, what are you doing? And but he wasn't having it. Like, prayed for me. And when they left, I think I just wandered around the room, because the night before, when I first got in there, I remember trying to kick the door to get out, like the main door of because it's a ward basically, yeah, but it's a secure ward.
Yeah.
So it's big doors that you can't get out of there. So I remember trying to kick the door and it weren't happening. I remember just sitting on the floor, bawling blood. But even then, I didn't. I remember they dragged me away, gave me an injection. But even then, it was the next day after my brother and my sister and them came, they left. That's when it really settled. That's when it really settled in my brain, as in, bro, you're not leaving here. You're here, you're not going
And
home.
what was that feeling like? If you can remember. Because I'm assuming...
Bro, it was so many different things. There was a feeling of, obviously, sadness, yeah? There was a feeling of, like, what are you thinking? Like, what's going on here? Like, how did you get here? That was the major one. Like, how did you get here? Like, what? How did you get here? But because your brain, remember, you're trying to fight your brain because your brain's telling you other shit. Your brain's telling you so much stuff. Going back to what you said before, the power of this thing, people don't understand, bro, man. People don't understand, bro. That's why there's meditation, bro. That's why there's all these different things that people use to maintain the brain. That's why exercise and all these things are so important. All these things that are out there that people do. Mindfulness. Bro, I could talk about mindfulness for hours with you. All these different things have been out here. Meditation.
They're not new.
They're not new. It's because people been understanding that if you don't control your brain will control you. So being in the hospital for the first night, the second night, I'm trying to figure out how am I going to go about getting this brain back? Because my brain was just going. It was going. It was telling me things that weren't real.
And how long was you in there for? First time?
The first time I was in there for 30 days. I appealed, and that's the only reason I got out. Like, the lady wanted me to be in there for 3 months. There was a lady who was the head of the whole hospital, the mental health hospital. She wanted to keep me in there for 3 months, but it was by the grace, fam. It was by the grace of God. These 3 doctors, 3 black guys, they came in there after the first 3.5 weeks, and they were the ones that basically said, nah, he can get out of here. And they gave me like a team that followed me outside of the hospital. They're called like a crisis team, and they follow you and basically give you medication daily, like in the morning and in the evening. But they come to your house and they sit with you. They watch you take the medicine. Yeah, so that happened for a while, but I just had to get out of that. I literally stopped the crisis team coming to my house. And that ended up with them just cutting all the assistance and all the help they had promised me when I was in the hospital, because they promised you so much help and try and get you back on track once you leave the hospital. But they want you to do things their way. Do you know what I mean? So
So they're still pumping you drugs?
Yeah, they're still pumping you the drugs, yeah. When you come out of the hospital.
Was there a time period where they said, okay, we're going to pump you drugs for what? 6 months, 7 months after you're out, then we'll leave you?
I'll be honest with you, there's like a little plan that they make with you, and it's all based on how you get along. So it's not, you're going to get medicine for the next 6 months or da-da-da. They literally were saying to me, like, for the next few weeks, until your next meeting, we're going to be coming in twice a day, in the morning and in the evening.
So that could even send you back if they feel...
Yes. So, but for me, as soon as I got home, I think maybe within the first 3 days, because I would go for walks in the morning, yeah? Wake up, have my food and all that, and have a shower, go for walks. And when I was going for these walks, bro, everything was just super, like, it was weird to explain. Everything was larger than life. Like, everything
intense.
Everything, because obviously I'd been in the hospital for that period of time. So I'm not seeing the streets. I'm not seeing all these different colors and all this, but everything was just big and bright, and the building seemed closer. Everything just seemed weird. And I remember telling my missus at the time, look, this thing's just a bit, it was just too much, bruv. I was just walking around with a big grin on my face. It was weird, bruv. I was walking around just like, not happy, but almost docile. Like, just like, it was weird. Saying hello to everyone. Yeah, saying hello to everyone. Literally, like, can you imagine walking on the road and saying hello to everyone?
I do that all the time.
Everyone.
I do that.
Okay.
But not, I know the state of mind you're in.
Yeah, it was just weird.
It's not you.
Yes,
it's like
it was weird.
You've been controlled.
Yeah, it was really weird.
So
I remember looking at the side effects of each of the drugs that I was on. And I remember seeing that literally the side effects of a lot of the drugs were what they were saying I was in there for. So the side effects were schizophrenia, bipolar. There was even a side effect that you could lead to death in one of them tablets. And I remember saying to her, nah, this is done. So one of the evenings when the guy came to give you the tablets, I remember telling him, nah, I don't want to take these anymore, because I looked at the side effects and blah, blah, blah. And then he was so sarcastic. He was like, okay then, all right, so I guess there's nothing wrong with you. I guess it must have been our mistake having you in the hospital. I guess there's nothing wrong with you. So yeah, if that's what you want to do, and da-da-da. And then literally when he left, they cut off all the help. Like all the stuff they said they would help me with, So all this is within the space of a month of me coming out of the hospital. That was it. So within a month of coming out the sectioning, there was no contact with the local authority to give me any assistance mentally, psychologically, or physically. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
But it was more mentally that you needed it.
yes, I needed to see a psychologist. I needed to get therapy.
You just came to the unknown.
Literally. And the wickedest thing, when I told you those black doctors came in there and they're the ones that literally said, yeah, he's going to be released. There was a white lady I met. She was like a psychologist. I had an amazing session with her, literally for about half an hour. She must have drew this map, and it was a map of my psyche basically, and asking me questions about my youth. She drew this map, and she was talking about loads of stuff that happened, that ended up happening in my therapy sessions 3-4 years later. She was talking about abandonment issues. She was talking about my mom. She was talking about the relationship with my dad. She was talking about all these things in the space of half an hour that I'd never heard about before. And she was saying to me that they were traumatic and they could easily have led to how I got to where I got to, the shooting, all these different things. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm not going to like bash the system, but literally the mental health system is a part of the problem too, because they don't really have a way or like a blueprint of getting you out of that state of mind once you've been sectioned. There's no blueprint that they follow. It's literally, boom, medication, come out of the hospital, more medication, and yeah, that's you, because you're done. Most people are done. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that medication, bro, there's stuff in it that sends you more down that path.
And you become dependent on it. Like you need it. Dependent like without it, you can't sustain.
Yeah. And how people look at you, because the more you take those tablets, you put on weight. So how you're looked upon, you almost stop fitting into society. And then what then? You know? So it's it was a strange time, man.
So it's almost like you fighting your mind. Because you know you don't belong there.
Literally.
You know what your true worth is, but your mind is trying to tell you otherwise, and your surrounding is so different.
Yeah, because there's some people in there, they have gone too far, some of the patients. So they've gone to that other place where, I'm not going to say they're mad, but they've gone to this other place and they're telling you stuff that you that's locked in there too knows that don't make no sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there was days when it was scary, bro. I'll be honest with you. There was days in that section that was super scary.
What pulled you through?
Man. There were several things that pulled me through. Being in that place was the first time I really understood what prayer was. Being in 2010, that's when I first really understood that was. I had 2 tattoos on my arm. I got one of my mum, Monica, and I got one of my daughter, Injure. I've got a song where I literally say, Injure, you saved my life, I'm gonna make it right. The song's called Make It Right. Because my daughter saved my life. More than anything else. More than my mum, because I don't know my mum. My daughter saved my life, cuz. My daughter's 12 now. She just started secondary school. She saved my life, bro. Because I got sectioned when she was like 6 months the first time. She saved my life, blood. Like every day being in there, no matter what was going on, no matter like how messy it was or how scared I was or like whatever was going on in there, I knew this little child was there and I knew what I needed to do. Like I was going to get back to that child no matter what, man. No matter what was happening, I'm getting back to that child because you never asked to be brought here. Like man made a decision with this woman to have you. And now you're here, and because I've made 1 or 2 moves and this bad stuff's happened to me and I found myself in this place where they're saying to me, I'm mad. You think I'm going to stay in here? Nah, no way. My daughter it was like almost like a torch. It was like a light. I could see it. And it made me move a certain way. So I'll give you an example. One of the first things I was told in there was, don't take the medicine all the time, bro. Find a way not to take it all the time. Yeah?
Who told you that?
One of the patients.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the patients. There was some dudes in there, bro. I love them, bro. I still think about them to this day. Still ask about them when I see their friends or whatever. There was another old man. Yeah, his son was a DJ I booked. Yeah, in 2007 for a rave in Brixton, and now I'm in the hospital in 2010 with his dad, a guy called Shaka. Yeah, I'm with his dad in the hospital. Yeah, that's his madness. Yeah, the dad said to me, exercise. Yeah, he said, whenever you take the pills, exercise. If you do take the pills, he said, every day exercise. Try and do your press-ups, your sit-ups. Stay active. Because he said, if you stay active, he said your body will respond to the medication in the right way. You won't just be sitting there, because most people take the tablets and then they just go and sit down and watch the TV. And then the thing's just working through your body and you're just there, docile. So every day, bruv, I'm exercising, bruv. I'm in my room doing press-ups. My mind ain't clear, but there's parts of me that understands what I need to do. So the same way I'm praying, not understanding what prayer is, I'm praying through my ancestors, saying to my ancestors, please talk to Jesus for me. And I'm all doing it in some warped out, whatever way, but I'm praying, bro. I'm praying to Jesus, fam. Whatever way, I've got to get this prayer there. Do you see what I'm saying? Asking God to forgive my ancestors for anything they done and like, bro, I was just searching. But my brother was coming in there and he was praying for me, and people hadn't given up on me. I could see that. So that was giving me a bit more, like, so much people was coming to visit me. The hospital had to make a list because my sisters was complaining, my older sisters. The hospital made a list down to 8 people. Everyone else was turned away because too much people was coming to visit me. Do you get what I'm saying? So me seeing all that, it puts fight in you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there was so many things that I saw that was putting fight in me. But like I said to you, the number one thing was my daughter, bro. Like, that was like the catalyst for me to realize and latch onto anything that was giving me like some sort of hope and some sort of light. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it was, but like I said just now, bro, it was strange, bro. It was a strange time, but I know God never left my side, bro.
He never does.
He never left my side, man. He never left my side, man.
That's amazing. And then so years later, you find yourself back in the, before we touch on that, you talk about your mum.
Yeah.
You never knew your mum
No.
till later on. But the passion and love that you have for her is just strong as most kids have their parents.
Yeah.
How did you separate from your mum?
Basically, my mum had a baby, a year before I was born, and the baby died. Yeah. So when I came, this is from what I've been told, like, my dad was like super sensitive when it came to me. So I don't know if there's some married homes, where the mum has a room and the dad has a room. Yeah, that's how it was in my house, in Nigeria. So my dad had a room and my mum had a room. This is when they were still there together, So I must have been about maybe 3 or 4 when my mum left the house, when my dad drove my dad basically drove my mum out of the house, bro. I ain't even gonna try and paint it any way funny or whatever. Like, I've got little memories of my mum when I was small, little ones, but most of my memories are of my dad, because basically my dad took me and I was in his room. I slept in my dad's room. So I remember in the morning sitting there and watching this man put his suit on and all that to go to work and all that. I remember every morning I'd sit on the floor and he's putting his shoe on and boom, 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 getting ready to go to work and all that. So the best way I can explain it is, my dad was financially in a super strong position and my mum was a troubled woman. She come from a troubled background in terms of like her family were into witchcraft and things of that nature. So some of this stuff my mum took upon and became somebody that would go to the shrine and all this type of shit. She would do all them type of shit, and my dad's anti all that. You feel what I'm saying? So for him, it was a thing where he took the children away from this woman because of where he thought she was heading. And he was in a position where he could do that. So as long as I can remember, I just remember being under my dad. My dad would either be in England or he would be at work, because obviously you're at school every day. And I just remember my dad was this big man and my mum just weren't there, fam. But there were other women, like I had sisters, and I remember we had a house girl. Like, so there were women there who basically played the part of a mum, but not in a love way, more in a telling you what to do and cooking for you and making sure you were fed. Do you see what I'm saying? But there wasn't nobody there that would tell you I love you or tell you, you can be anything you want to be in this world. You're amazing. I didn't get that. I didn't get the love part. I more had women that were there that made sure I was fed, my clothes was washed, things of that nature. Do you get what I'm saying? But the love I have for my mum is because any child that's been in that womb for 9 months will have a connection. So I knew this woman existed. I wrote letters to her when I was in England that I never sent to her. I sat in my room and wrote letters to my mum, bro. I never sent them. So there was something working in me, as in, there's something missing. Something was missing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but there's no way for me to explain to you where the passion, where it fully comes from. It's just something I feel. Like, I love this woman. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they said when I was small, I used to call her Monica. I didn't call her mum or mummy. I called her Monica because that's what my dad called her. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so my relationship with that woman is weird. It's really peculiar, because up to this day, I've got her phone number in my phone. I phone her, but I don't phone her that often because I don't know what to say. And when we do talk, it's so quick. Like, we need to be with each other. I need to be, like, she came to England in 2016, fam, yeah? She got sectioned, bruv. In England. She come here for the first time in 42 years and got sectioned. But before this sectioning thing happened, she stayed with me for like 5-6 days, fam.
What was that like?
One of the best times of my life, bro. One of the best times of my life, fam. There was even like 2-3 nights where my daughter stayed. So I had my mum there and I had Inja there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, bro, imagine walking into the house, fam, and your mum's with your kid, fam. Cuz. Me, that's not even meant to be here, cuz. By the grace, fam, I'm here, fam. So imagine walking into the yard, fam. I'm seeing my mum, fam, with my daughter, cuz. Can you imagine, cuz? That's what the devil tried to take from man, cuz. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what the devil tried to take from me, but that's what God gave, man. And God let me see that to show me, look what you did. You didn't look for revenge. You didn't try to go look for the guy that shot you. You didn't try to do no bravado and play it off in no way and try to give some narrative, try to do some bad boy thing. Nah. Sometimes you're just a man. You get what I'm saying? But God rewards you, fam, for being a man and for being stand up. Do you get what I'm saying? So me seeing my mum and my daughter together, because like I'm talking to you right now, fam, man's getting emotional, bro, because it's something that I will cherish for the rest of my life, bro. Seeing that woman, she birthed me, blood. You get what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, how God took it, you wasn't meant to raise me. You get what I'm saying? You birthed me, but you wasn't meant to raise me. But I will make sure your name glitters in gold, fam. I will make sure, because you're Monica, my mum. You've been to hell and back. So I'll make sure like life's good for her. You feel what I'm saying? So,
brother, that is wow. That is, I don't even know what to say to that. Because I find a lot of us are lucky that we've got our mothers in our lives, but at the same time, we take it for granted. We don't really appreciate them, because I see and hear a lot of people, mostly young people, the way they speak to their mum,
shocking,
and
bro.
the way they speak of their mum.
Yeah, man. Trust me, it hurts me when I hear it, bro. Trust me, man.
It's like, do you not understand, as you said, for 9 months,
yeah, man,
you've changed her body and the connection, and I feel it, to your mum. I think, as I said, I told you last time, I think one of the hardest thing, or one of the horrible, evilest thing you can do is take a child away from the mum.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's a fact.
That kills the mum.
Yeah.
In that moment more than it does the child, because the child don't fully understand, although the child will never be the same.
Yeah.
Because there's some things on planet Earth that we can't explain, that we feel.
Yeah.
And as you said, you got that connection with your mum forever.
Yeah, man. But it's weird. It's what you said there. It's like some things like are hard to explain. Like that connection with a mother. Like I hear people talking about it, and sometimes I ask myself, how did I get here? Like, do you feel me? Like, because when I hear man speak about it, and they speak about that connection, and they speak about the love for their mum. I know we spoke about just now. You spoke about the man that don't appreciate their mum. But you see, when I hear man, like I might hear Nas, or I might hear certain rappers, and they talk about their mum, and the key part for me is I wouldn't be here without her. And they're not talking about the birth part. They're talking about everything this woman's done. Like, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm watching Smith Rowe. Love that kid. anytime he's doing his thing and he goes to the interview, he speaks about his mum. Do you know what I'm saying? My family was here watching me. They saw me score the goal. It's amazing. Da, da, da. I'm going to make sure I give this to my mum. If it wasn't for my mum, I wouldn't be here. My mum's the one that supported my dream. Do you know how many times I heard that? My mum's the one that supported my dream. My mum was the one that was the drive. My mum was the one that took me up and down, drove me here and drove me there. Because it's the woman that's connected to the child more emotionally. The man is there for guidance and protection. He's not there for the emotional connection, not by the law of this land, of the world. If you look at a lion cub and you see the lion, he's dragging him around. The lion's not there for that. The big lion, the lionesses. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So sometimes I ask myself, how did you get here? Like, how did you get here? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have that.
You're protected.
Do you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it hurts because there's things that aren't natural to me. There's things that I've just started buying my missus flowers. Because I never knew what was the importance of that. I never knew that made women smile when it didn't even make sense. Like, I didn't know there's certain things that a woman will show you that I never got a clue about. And it's true, my daughter, India, and women that are in my life, that I'm learning these things now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so anybody that's got a mum, like, and the mum's in your life, fam, I don't care how old you are, bro. Bro, that woman there, appreciate that woman, man.
They sacrifice more than we know.
Appreciate that woman, man. Appreciate that woman, man. My dad was a man and a woman, bro. I'm gonna hold you, bro. My dad played the role of a man and a woman in my house. My clothes was washed. There was food every day I came back from school in this England. There was no woman in the yard. There was food every day. My dad was cooking stew, banga, goosey, fufu, eba, beans, boom, rice. And the one thing my dad told me, fam, and I always tell people this, my dad told me, never argue with a woman over food. Never argue with your wife over food. Never. Never. You as a man, you come back from work. You don't know, maybe it was the day's been a bit complicated for her. You just don't know. She might be on her period. Get in the kitchen and make that happen. Because this thing's a balance between you and a woman. It's a balance. There's no roles you're stuck on that role. Do you get what I'm saying? So appreciate them, man. Appreciate your mother, man. Appreciate her, man. Appreciate you only got one, man. You've only got one, and that's to me too. Even though my relationship with her is a bit complicated, that's for me too. Do you know what I'm saying? That's for me too.
I mean, not to say fathers don't do an amazing job, because clearly your dad is a living example of that.
Yeah.
It just, there's certain things fathers can't touch where women do it better. Yeah. Like, no matter how much, and it's vice versa. There's certain things that we do that no matter how much a mother try, they'll never do.
It'll be harder for your dad to see your dream than your mum to see your dream. It's harder for a man to see a dream than for a woman to see a dream. It's just harder because a lot of men don't live up to their dream, their own individual dream, because this world smashes them up. Most men, their dreams are smashed up. My dad said to me one time, this is years ago, he said, your sisters, we're going to lose them. Yeah? He says, we should lose them. He says, another man's going to come along and he's going to give them his surname. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it's meant to work. Another man comes along and gives your child, your daughter, his surname, but your sons will forever carry your name. Always. That's why that thing in the whole in the old times they talk about he hasn't got a son to pass the lineage down to, and if there's no son, then it doesn't pass down, because literally the son carries the name, the girl don't. So that whole thing of purpose and dreams, it can be supported more by a woman. If a man's heartbroken by the fact that he didn't become the greatest boxer or didn't get a chance for his thing to happen, he's not going to be able to see it in his son. He's going to tell his son, go get a job. He just will, because he knows the practicalities of this world, of what you have to do. The women, you have to support a woman. You got to support a family. That's not gonna pay for that. That's not gonna pay for your wife, pay for your son. So you're better off study your book and make sure you become a lawyer or become this practical thing. Whereas a mum will look at you in your eyes, because you're gonna tell mum, I want to do this, and mum's gonna look at you because of that emotional connection, and she's gonna know if you can do it or not. And maybe even you can't, she might still be supporting you, hoping, as women do, that you will. Women are just more supportive and they're nourishers. So you've got a dream, she's going to nourish it. You've got a dream and it's a man. He's gonna more guide you, and he might guide you away from it because he thinks, nah, I'm looking at you. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. And I don't want you to have heartbreak in this world the way I had heartbreak. You feel what I'm saying? So that not having the mum or having your mum and you don't appreciate her, don't make that mistake. That's the queen. Connect with that. That's the queen. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it's something I've learned to work around, and I've just got it from other sources, and I've just got grace from other sources. So for me, I'm working on my relationship with my mum.
Brother, you are in a better place than a lot of guys who are actually with their mum.
Yeah.
So for that, from one man to another, I appreciate you, and
Give thanks, man.
keep you don't need me to tell you this because I know you're gonna carry on, but keep doing it. And
Give thanks.
And I think what we also lack as men, you know, even black men, is we don't see enough of it. We don't see an example of it. So for you coming on here and sharing your story the way that you shared it,
I respect, man.
it has to touch someone.
No, I respect.
You know what I mean? Even if it's one person we've touched, our job is done.
No, I respect.
If it's not touched you, I can only apologize. Not the fact that it's a touch, I can apologize for the pain that you're going through, and I hope you find something within you to soften up that pain and get to the place where Ox is at the moment. So thank you, Ox.
Nah, man, it's work, man. It's work, man.
Let's move forward now to the second time.
Yeah.
So you get released.
Yeah.
A few years gone by, you got sectioned again.
Yeah.
How long was you sectioned for this time?
The second time I was sectioned, I wasn't given any medication. They wasn't allowed to give me any medication, and I was in there for 7 days. And it was literally because I never had a psychotic episode the second time. The second time, I just more displayed a level of anger and rage that scared a lot of people. So what happens is, once you display that anger and rage, you normally get nicked, arrested. And that's what happened. I was arrested. It was at my dad's again, because you got to understand, they said to me the first time, I need to leave my dad. That was the synopsis by my sisters, my brother. Everybody surrounded said I needed to leave my dad's the first time.
Because he's the trigger.
He was linked to it. He's linked to the trigger, my mom not being there, and subconsciously blame on my dad, and just different stuff, being still childlike under this man, bare different things. I'm meant to be out of there. But for whatever reason, because I didn't get the support, just loads of different reasons I wanted to say is because that I was there. I was back there. Yeah. So 2014, I had there's a platform and a brand called Bound to Blow that I was a part of when it first was created back in the day. So I was bringing this brand back. So from 2012, end of 2012, 2013, I'd been filming footage with my guy Akel, this young guy I'd met. We was filming. We had loads of footage, edited it all up, and we created this thing, Bound to Blow DVD Volume 3, had a soundtrack to go with it, everything. People like Western, Akel from Western, few different people was on there, was on the latest one, Volume 3.
Bound to Blow, not very many of you, young ones anyway.
Yeah.
Some of you probably don't even know what this is.
The whole DVD.
You know, this is I'm you know what? Some people probably don't know what this is.
That's
you know?
a fact. Yeah.
This is a DVD. You know what? I'm gonna keep it in there because this is gonna be worth money sometimes. So I'm not opening.
Grace,
I'm not opening. This is a DVD, ladies and gentlemen, or boys and girls. Yeah, it's like what you do online now. We used to capture it on a disc. Just type in DVD in Google and you see what it looks like. I would show you, but I don't want to devalue it. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, so this is Bound to Blow. You had Kano, Lee for B, Estelle was there, SAS. This is before they became who they are now.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But like I'm saying, the third one had a couple people who have signed now doing their thing. But I was basically filming it. Editing it, but there was a period in 2014 when it was ready to be launched, and I basically spent 3 nights packaging this thing. Because how we got it, we got the DVD cases, we got all the artwork, boom, boom, boom. So I'm up, boom, trying to get these DVDs ready for the launch day, because I had like a launch day in Shepherd's Bush outside this barber shop. So I had like a little plan. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to make sure for 3 nights I didn't go sleep. And added to that, I never had a diagnosis at this time. So I'd gone through the hospital in 2010, come out of the hospital, I'd gone to work at Ocado, trying to get my life back together. Like I'd gone through depression for like maybe 2 years, 2010 to 2012. I was just in depression, trying to find my head. Yeah, a good friend of mine, he'd helped me get a job in Ocado, and that was like my first footsteps back into some form of normality. Do you know what I mean? Swallowing my pride. I said to myself, you know what? I don't care if people see me driving a Ocado van. I'm gonna go get a job because I need to get my mind strong again. Other people that I knew that had been through the hospital system, that had been sectioned, they were saying to me, you're going to go get a job. What are you doing, bro? Don't go and get a job. You can get this, that. You can get this benefit, that benefit. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, nah, this ain't a money thing. I'm not trying to use my sectioning to get dough. Like, no, like I know why I need to work because I've been working since I was 15. Even when I'm hustling, like I've been working. I always worked because I knew the importance of it. So my head was telling me, get back into some sort of work. So I got into Ocado. From Ocado, I was headhunted by UPS, got a job at UPS. So while I was at UPS, that's when I'm filming Bound to Blow 3. So I'm back, literally, I'm back, bro. I'm trying to be back. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to be back. But I wasn't diagnosed, so I didn't know why I was sectioned in 2010. So imagine that. It's 2014, and I didn't know why I was sectioned. Can you imagine? So it was just something that just happened.
So that's another part where the system let you down.
Do you understand where I'm coming from? It shouldn't have just happened, you know? But in 2014, I was on a waiting list for therapy from Charing Cross. I had the letter, I was on a waiting list, but the waiting list...
In 2014?
Yeah, I was still on a waiting list.
Considering you've been sectioned in 2010, so that's 4 years.
I was on a waiting list from 2012. That's when I got on the waiting list. Not from 2010. I got on the waiting list from 2010.
So 2 years to get on the waiting list, and another 2 years.
And I still hadn't seen anyone. Yeah, but
and you walking around there.
Yeah, I'm just there, bro. I think there was a stage I was driving. I'm just trying to be, bro. I'm driving a van. I'm driving a Ocado van. I'm running up 4 flights of stairs. All this was my recovery. That's how I was feeling because, bro, I'm going. Ocado, if you know anyone that works for Ocado, you might have 5th floor, no lift, 4th floor, no lift. You get up there, and then when they bust the door, the kitchen's up more stairs. All this stuff I was doing, sweating, bruv. This is the bread that shot Bound to Blow. I was with Kano however many years ago. I'm thinking to myself, swallow your pride. This is what you have to do. This is what you got to do. Just get your mind back. Like I said, gone on to UPS filming, da-da-da. But when it got to the DVD to be launched, bro, it's almost as if I wasn't scared, but I'm trying to bring something back that was popping in 2004, 2005, 2006. I've invested my money. I bought the DVDs. I bought the artwork. I bought stickers. I bought so much stuff, flyers. I pressed up. I've got a marketing degree. So I've tried to really get my gear going. But brother, it was the same thing again. I wasn't getting real support. So I wasn't getting support from Mandem. I wasn't getting support from friends. I just didn't feel I was getting support. So the bit of frustration started coming in, and then the lack of sleep, not sleeping for the 3 nights. I just got ratty. I got angry, and then I remember a friend of mine came to the house, and me and him had a big argument, bro. By the time I knew it, nurses were outside. Someone had called the hospital, saying, he shouted, he's angry. Because that's what happens. You see, when you're labelled. You're labelled, bruv. You got to be careful how you move. That's like a bro that's got an arrest sheet where he's got breaking and entry, he's got this, he's got that, he's got caught with possession, he's got that. Bro, if feds come anywhere near you and they read your name, you're going to be the first to get pulled to the side and they're going to want to search you. You're probably going to have to go back to the station. It's because there's stuff attached to you. So all this stuff was attached to me from 2010. So as soon as it was reported that someone had called the police because I was just wilding. I was outside my house arguing with my friend. This is like a friend that was like my best friend when I was younger, but I felt he had let me down. He was still doing certain things that I tried to stop doing, like the crack thing and all this. So we was having and I got a deep voice. So if I'm shouting or arguing, it's not even as deep as you think it is. But you see, when the police came, the police van, I saw the nurses, something switched in my brain. Like, right, they're trying to take you away again. Bro, I lost it. I lost it, bruv. My brethren saying, bruv, calm down. They're going to go mad. They're going to arrest. They're going to take you to the hospital. I'm just wilding. And loads of different things is being triggered now. Like, because you're once you start getting into that anger thing, it's almost like road rage. It's like road rage. It's just like you lose it. You don't even know. You don't even know what's going on. I'm just wilding, bro. The next thing I knew, I was in the back of the van driving towards Brentford. Like, you know, by Kew Bridge, when you turn right, driving down there. Bro, there's no hospital there, in my mind. Remember, I was in Charing Cross.
Charing Cross is the other way. Yeah.
I'm thinking, where are these guys taking me? My feet is bleeding because I was outside the house, like I said, arguing with my friend. I cut my foot, like, against something. So all my foot's bleeding. I just looked a mess, bro. It was in the summertime, but I think I had, like, just a T-shirt on and some tracksuit bottom. I looked scatty. And I just felt scatty. And I'm thinking, where are we going? Next thing I knew, we've turned round after Brentford where the Hilton Hotel is, around there, and there's a hospital there.
Under the flyover.
And I didn't know there was a hospital there. There was a hospital there, so they put me in this holding cell. And the reason they put me in the holding cell is to basically see my reaction when I wake up. Remember, I told you I've not slept in 3 days. Bruv, I was wounded. I was wounded. I slept for so long.
How did they put you to sleep?
No, I just went to sleep. Bro, see, when they put me in the holding cell, I must have prayed. Yeah. I said the Lord's Prayer. Yeah. Because now I'm more like in Christ now. By 2014, I've been going to church. I'm trying to pray. I'm reading the Bible. I'm just more trying to connect spiritually with Jesus. Do you know what I'm saying? So when they put me in this holding cell, I'm angry in it, but I'm still remembering 2010. So I prayed and I just went to sleep. And I just remember sleeping for time. When I woke up, there was like 7 people all around me. Doctors, nurses, and basically they wanted to see if I would wake up and react. They did it on purpose. So literally I'm lying on the floor, on a bed, like on a mattress, on the middle of the cell. And when I woke up, there's 7 people all around the foot of the bed. Because obviously, if I'm in a psycho episode, I'll wake up and I'll see all that, feel threatened, and I'll wild out. Now it's meds. Straight injection, boom. But when I woke up, I looked at them and I was calm, bro. And I just went and lied back down. My eyes open, lied back down, and I don't think I even said anything. And they basically moved me from there. They moved me into like a room. But the woman explained to me from the jump, you never showed any, one of the nurses, she said, don't take any medicine because you never showed any signs. So don't let them give you medication. We was in there for 7 days with the doctor trying to tell me in a million different ways that I best take medicine. But because I knew you couldn't force me, you couldn't take me in the room and give me the injection, because for whatever reason, this woman told me what she told me. Do you get what I'm saying? And I knew my rights. And I even asked the woman, I said to her, these are the pills I was taking from when I got shot. Yeah, I was taking oxycodone, tramadol. I told her all the different tablets I was taking. I said to her, would all those tablets, could they lead to me having a psychosis if I was a heavy skunk smoker? She said to me, of course. She goes, all those tablets are like, that's like, because some of those tablets are like heroin. Oxycontin, oxycodone, these are sold on the streets. And I was taking these tablets for like 2-3 years after my shooting. Do you get what I'm saying? So there was loads of stuff that was in my system that led to where I went. But people don't see that. They just see you looking mad. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's a thing. All I can tell you is I'm just so grateful, bruv. I'm so grateful that God stayed true, bro. Like God
you stayed true as well.
I stayed true, but God stayed true, bro.
God's always true to us. Yeah, I think it's up to us whether we want to acknowledge that.
That's a fact.
And follow it.
That's a fact.
Like it's like he's never deviated. He's never changed. He's always there.
That's a fact.
He's given us free will.
That's a fact.
We make the choices.
That's a fact, man.
Like you said, you woke up, you could have wilded out, and you had every right. They tried to set you up, stayed calm.
Yeah.
You stayed true.
Yeah, man. And that's what saved me, bro. Because in that 2014, I think if they gave me tablets, I would have been in trouble, man. But because they didn't give me the tablets, and then through that sectioning, I got the therapy. Because when I got out of there, I was able to play the card of, look what do you lot want?
How long did that therapy last?
Lost a year.
Was it, do you think you needed more, or do you think a year was enough?
I wanted the guy to be my friend. No, I'll be real. Bro,
That's good.
I wanted him to be my friend. I asked him at the end of the session, my final session, or my second to last session, I said to him, Rad, would he write my book with me? Because that was my way of trying to make the relationship come out of the hospital. So I said to him, look, there's a book. I've explained to him about the book. I've got a book I'm writing at the moment. It's called Get Rich or Get Sectioned. Yeah, that's what the book's titled. And it basically talks about my experience when I was sectioned, what led up to it, the year or so leading up to it, and then the things I did or what happened to me to get me out of the sectioning and to where I am now in terms of my state of mind. So I'm writing that at the moment. But I said to him, Rao, would he write it with me? Because, bro, I cried in front of this bro, man.
What did he say?
Nah, man, he embraced me, man.
Yeah.
No, but in terms of the thing, he said no. He said, no.
You're not paying me enough. No, I think it's professional courtesy. They can't do that.
He can't do that. Yeah, he said he can't do that. But the guy, I can tell you, Inja saved my life. That man changed my life. Do you get what I'm saying? My daughter saved my life, but that man changed my life because there's people he introduced me to. He introduced me to a Christian charity that helped me so much. This woman, Michelle Rooney, American lady, man, from a church over in Chiswick. Like, the woman helped me so much, like, just genuinely. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and he introduced me to some people at Mind. It's a mental health charity. Between the psychologist and my brother, I got a lot of help from Mind, the mental health charity. Some Nigerian guy that works there called Ola. They helped me so much, man. And literally, these people were just sent. They were sent here, bruv. Because literally, like you said, we make a choice. And from when I made that choice and I stayed true, the things that needed to help me to get out of the rabbit hole just started. They appeared bit by bit at the right time. The right people came along. But yeah, the psychologist guy, bruv, he gave me this thing that's called reliving. Yeah, reliving is basically it's an exercise that you can use to cope with trauma. Like most people have trauma, but there's normally an incident.
Break that down to us. How
right.
so? Because
this is one of the first times that I broke down in the sessions with him. Yeah. So he taught me loads of different stuff, because that's the thing about therapy. There's counseling and then there's therapy. Yeah, counseling, you go there, you can talk to someone. Yeah, and they talk to you. But then there's therapy. There's actual, there's things that people have researched. There's tactics that you can use to cleanse you, like literally cleanse you and release certain things. And all of a sudden you're bawling your eyes out and you don't understand. Like, rah, I didn't even realize those tears were there to that extent. But I'll give you the reliving one. Basically, I was shot in 2006. So what he did, he sat me down and he made me relive the whole day. Not from the morning or whatever, but from where I can remember clearly. So like leading up to getting in the car to go to the show or wherever it was. And literally, he gets you to tell it like it's happening, like it's now. Every step. Literally. I know that sounds weird, but what happened next and what happened next? So you're saying in first person, I did this next and then this happened and then this said this to me, and literally step by step. But as you're doing it, it releases something in your consciousness. Like one of the things about trauma is you play with what if. Yeah, that's one of the big things with trauma. If it was a thing where you got stabbed, you was abused, you got shot, whatever the trauma is, there's you do the what if. You play it back in your brain does this thing where it plays it back and your brain does what if. So you start dealing with what if and scenarios. And that's the trap of trauma, because you're going to have a million scenarios. If I did that, I should have done that and then that would have happened. And then and that's a rabbit hole because you're going somewhere where there's no ending. And then if you do that all the time,
that's your mind.
You're done. You're messed. Yeah. And a lot of us are there. That's where we are in PTSD, because it might be, the brer pulled out the knife on you and then you did this and then this happened. So you're going to be like, what if I did that? What if I was quicker? What if I did this? What if I grabbed the knife off him and then I would have stabbed him? Or what if I grabbed the knife off him and then I would have thrown it on the floor and then I would have grabbed him and then I would have told him about himself? And you start imagining all these different million scenarios, and that's the drama. That's That's damaged mental health. You playing the what if, that's damaged mental health. Whereas you do this exercise called reliving, it triggers something that takes away that what if. You more accept that it happened because there's a part of you.
And you face it.
You face it because there's a part of you that you might think you know this thing happened to you and yeah, this is what happened and da da da. But no, you ain't faced it. Your subconscious ain't faced it. There's parts of your brain that ain't faced it. Do you get what I'm saying?
And you're trying to suppress it as well.
Without meaning to, but without meaning to. You ain't meaning to because you might have told someone what happened. Oh yeah, this happened, I got stabbed and this happened. But you ain't told yourself it and in detail. And these are stuff that I didn't study psychology, so I can't tell you the exact wording of how it actually works. But this reliving exercise, it literally, it took something away. I don't play the what if game no more. I just don't. But I used to play that game every day. I used to play that game every day. What if I got to the gun first? What if I'd run after him when he left the club, when my brethren told me this? What if this? What if that? What if my brethren had done that? What if my man had come with me? Why did I go there without this one? Or I don't play that game no more. Because now I've done something, which was this reliving exercise that I never knew about before therapy, that's released something. It's released a part of that thing that used to do that what if. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's different little tools that I learned during that year of the therapy. I used to see him twice a week for an hour. That's a lot of talking.
Much needed, meaningful talking.
And you go home with homework. You're learning about why are you passive? Why are you assertive? Like, do you know what validation is? Do you know why you should validate someone when you're talking to them? Do you know what that does for you? Bare little things. Do you understand what emotions are? Do you know what it means to be happy, to be angry, to be sad? Do you know why they're important? Do you know why it's important to let anger just go through you and come out the other side and not assess it too much? The same way you don't assess when you laugh and you giggle. But when you're angry and you're down and you're depressed, you don't do nothing but assess it. All these different little things, they're a part of our psyche that no one don't teach us. You don't get taught this stuff in school. You don't get taught about this by your parents. It's only when you need an expert. And normally it's big money. Big money for your average person. Do you get what I'm saying? You only get it when you're on your knees. Look how long it took me to get it. If my therapy finished in 2016, bro, I got sectioned in 2010. That tells me something's wrong. Something's wrong with the system. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because maybe the medicine and all the different things that these pharmaceutical companies make, they need people like me. They need us. They need us to take these tablets and take them and take them and take them. Because if we didn't take them, how would their business run? Do you get what I'm saying? So there's loads of factors here that we could touch on. But bro, it's all about your state of mind and what you want. Anybody that's been sectioned can come out of it. It's just they got to really want to, blood. Like their life depends on it. But most people don't even understand who they are. The one thing I can thank God for is I knew who I was, fam. Like I knew who I was. I knew where I came from. I knew the meaning of my name. The meaning of my name is everything has its own time. I was looking at that when I was in the hospital. So if I'm looking at that in the hospital, I know this is only a moment's thing. Everyone doesn't have that. Everyone don't have that mindset and have them things going into the trouble. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because when you have certain things built in you going into the trouble, they kind of help you. And I'll be honest with you, I had some of those things and some of those things helped me. I held on to them and I made sure I was focused and I did the work, and I'm still doing the work today.
And you're doing amazing work, man. Honestly, like you've opened up. Like today, you gave everything, which is very, very hard to get from our people to come and just open up.
Our society's hard, bro, man. Trust me, man. Do you know how it is to look this way and be open and be vulnerable? I speak about that sometimes with my reverend son. He speaks about being vulnerable. That's hard, man. Being vulnerable is not easy, you know.
You know what? You touched on something. What does it feel like to open up and be vulnerable? What does it feel like?
It's lonely. It's empowering. Sometimes it's it can leave you, I think lonely is a big one. It can leave you by yourself. Because
which is a good thing.
it's a good thing, but we're all social creatures. Don't ever get it twisted. We all need people. Like nobody was meant to come here and just be by themselves. But if your group or the people who you grew up with or the social circles that you're in, if everybody in those social circles ain't ready to look at themselves in a mirror, how are they going to come around you when you've looked yourself in the mirror and you've been open about it and you've stood forth and said, right, you're not standing for this, that. You're no longer this, that. And these are the reasons you're not this, that. So you've made it so clear. It's almost like, there's that prayer where the guy says, oh, I prayed to God and asked him to show me who my enemies were and all my friends disappeared. Something along those lines. Because if you really get to know who you are, you might not want to be around the people that's around you. You might realize.
But that's why this is a good thing, because, but there's also the flip side to that, not a flip side. God's got you. The universe got you.
Yeah, that's
10
a fact.
people that left, 2 or 1 person that you really need that can connect with you come.
Definitely.
And that 1 person outweighs those 10 useless people.
That's an understanding. You see what you've just said there? That's an understanding. That's insight. Some people, it takes years to figure that out. That's insight. What you've just expressed there is probably life, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's how it works. Sometimes you just got to stand there and let it go by. But sometimes that's the hardest thing to do because you don't know what you've missed. You think you're missing stuff.
You think you're missing
Yeah, you think you're missing stuff, man, because you was there before. And you was there and you could, but I remember going out, yeah, and being at raves at 7 a.m. This is outside. Like it could be in the back of Dalston somewhere. Outside in some place, and there's a jerk man, he's doing jerk. This is 7 a.m, the sun's coming up, and we're listening to music, vibing. Bro, that's to me, that's like a lifetime ago.
And you don't even want that.
Don't want that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but I've still got friends in my circle that still do that to this day.
That's because they haven't found them.
Do you get what I'm saying? But I still need to know how to move around that. I can't look at no one as in, oh, I'm better than anybody, or I do this and you don't. Mm-hmm. But this is society. That's what I meant by when I said it's a lonely walk. It can be a lonely walk while you're looking for your tribe. If you was already a part of a tribe and you're leaving one tribe because you feel, right, I've got to know myself, I've grown and I'm walking this walk. It's a lonely walk until you find other people in your tribe. They will come.
They will come.
They will come.
Because they too are looking.
Yeah, they will come. 100%. They will come. They will come.
Where's your mental state now?
It's in a place where, like I said to you, I'm so filled with gratitude and I'm filled with, I'll give you this, yeah? Like you lot can have this, yeah? This came to me about probably like 2019. Routine, yeah? The word routine, you know the word, we all do. Routine is your route in, yeah? Your route in to anything you want to do in this life is routine. So whatever you want to do, whatever you want to chase, whatever you want to become, find a routine and it will give you a route in, yeah? And God bless man with that, yeah? That came, and when I really check it, that's probably one of the things that's kept me going. And that's one of the things I have to be thankful for being sectioned for. Because when I was sectioned, they gave you a routine. You get your breakfast at 8. You get your lunch at 12. You get your dinner at 5. You get some toast at 9. Maybe some biscuits and tea. And then you get bed. Bro, that's like jail. Bro, I've put that into my life. I never had that before. Because I never had a mum that would do things at a set time. Men are kind of, not scatty, but men kind of do it when it needs to be done. There's no, men, I'm not saying men aren't the best at routine, but women will follow a routine.
100%.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No,
like,
compare routine, men and women. We've got very exceptional men out there who can do it. But if we're talking about averaging, my personal opinion, women are better at routine than men.
Yes, 100%. It's just naturally more in them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I never knew that. I never knew routine. You feel me? So when I brought routine into my life, I started seeing the benefits of it. One of the things now, me and my missus will tell you about it, is I'm big on routine. I'm massive on it. It's one of the things that, bro, the devil makes light work, idle hands. However that saying goes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if you ain't got nothing going on or you ain't doing nothing, bro, anyone can knock on your door. Yeah. Anyone can knock on your door today, Wednesday, Saturday. Gone. yo, bro, we're heading up here.
Come.
That's how I got shot. A man hit me up after I finished working for the day, because I used to shop food at the time. I finished working for the day. I'm at home. A man said to me, bro, we've got a show today. I never knew nothing about it before that day. On a Wednesday night, after hustling for the whole day, I took myself to Reading and I got shot. So routine would have kept me out of that, because I would have been clear, no, bro, I've got to do this the next day. I need to get up to do this, and maybe I wouldn't have gone. It's just routine.
Now that's you playing with the what if.
Yes, that's me doing the what ifs.
Yes.
I take that back.
Yes.
Yeah, I take that back. That was a good spot. So me keeping routine in my life, exercise is a crucial part of it. I used to go swimming. I used to go before lockdown. I went swimming for like 2 years every Wednesday. Every Wednesday I'd go swimming. Thursday I'd go and do this at the gym. Wednesday I'd do this. Thursday I'd do that. Friday I had a route, and I still keep a routine, because that routine is the work that I need to do to keep myself on this journey, on this marathon.
Which is your way in.
There you go.
Let's before we close up, let's touch on your incident. What year you got shot?
I got shot in 2006.
2006 you got shot. It burns.
Yeah, man.
You don't feel it in that instant. Adrenaline is kicking in. Commotion is everywhere.
Yeah, man.
The man them are hyping. You in there in recovery thinking, nah, why me? This shouldn't happen to me. Something has to be done. The pressure's coming in from all angles. You soft. What you gonna do? Everyone's looking. You know you're harder than the next man, and the guy thinks he's harder than you. Where did you get the energy and strength to say, you know what? I'm gonna let this one go.
Probably real with you, it was God, bro, because it's how things work out. But I'm born in Nigeria. Yeah. Within the first night, I found out the kid that shot me was Nigerian. And you see me, bro, I'm a Nigerian fam. I'm one of them. Where I might have got a British passport in like 2016 or 17 or 18, whenever I got it. Bro, but I'm Nigerian, bruv.
My God, the highest.
Do you know what I'm saying to you? So, you see, for me to put another man down who's way younger than me, who's Nigerian, who his mum knows my sister, all these different little things that started playing into it. Nah, bro, you ain't going to take my soul like that, man. You're just not going to take my soul like that. It was a lot of pain, bruv. And, bro, we come from where we come from. We come from, you get touched. Touch me, you're getting touched. That's what we come from. That's the music we listen to. That's just where we come. That's just how it was growing up. So this situation was exceptional, bro. And I'm just glad God gave me the insight. Because when I sit back now, all I can do is just spud myself and tell myself, well done.
And you see that there? That's the scary thing, because a lot of madness that's going on today is pride.
But pride's
peer pressure and pride.
Pride's a huge part of it all, bro. The kid shot me because of his pride.
And he's lost. And
that's the truth.
And most people, as you said, touch me, I'm going to touch you back. I would even go as far as saying 90%, I don't even want to do it.
Facts.
But it just, the man them going to be on my case.
Yeah.
I need to prove something.
Bro, and some guys, they may feel that literally they're going to stop eating if they don't do it. Literally, because who you've surrounded yourself with, if you're not a wolf and you're not barking, you feel you're going to be ate. Because you grow up where you grow up and you're around who you're around. I'll give you this insight. You see the kid that shot me? I'd never met him before. I'd never seen him before in my life, bro. Yeah? I'm shotting, cracking heroin 100 miles an hour in Shepherd's Bush, Hounslow, West Kensington, wherever I am at that time, doing all these wrong things. I'm a spiritual person. Like, I work on them levels. If this is even before I found Christ, I've always been somebody that works on that spiritual level of karma, and if I do this, it's going to come round. I'm always being like that. Do you get what I'm saying? When you're doing something like shotting, cracking heroin, if you've got a good heart, you're going to be questioning yourself. Should I be doing this, man?
So before you carry on, what kept you going, knowing that even though you're going against yourself, what kept you doing these?
No, I was lost. I was lost. When you're lost, man. Like, you might, whether you've got a part of yourself still there, if you're lost, you're lost. And a lot of us growing up was lost, like in terms of certain choices we made and certain paths we followed. We all made mistakes. Do you get what I'm saying? We all did things that your older self would look back and say, bro, come on, man. All it is some people, what they were doing led them to something that can't be changed. You can't take it back. Do you get what I'm saying? And then some others, you were able to take it back, as in you found redemption or whatever it may be, you found your way out of that. Some man, they're in jail forever. Do you get what I'm saying? Some people are just different. Some people ain't got a leg, or some people ain't got an arm. I've got a mate of mine, I'm hoping he gets feeling in his arm again. He crashed on his motorbike. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and his whole right arm's paralyzed. I pray by the grace of God, he gets the feeling back in his arm. Sometimes things happen you can't change from your recklessness as a youth. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's just by the grace of God that however I managed to get out of that, it might have been through the shooting, because that's what happened. After I got shot by this guy that I'd never met before, by the next year, I wasn't selling crack and heroin no more. So maybe God knew, right, something huge has to happen to this dude for us to change the direction of where he's heading, because if he keeps on going this way, he's going to be very successful at it, and he's going to endanger a lot of people, including himself, like further down the line of life that we can't see, but the Most High can see. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a thing in the Bible where, I'm not saying word for word, where he says, he saw you before you was in the womb. So you got to understand, God has seen all of us, fam, before we was in our mum's womb. So he knows what's for you and what's not. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, we got free will, but that free will is going to take you down some places, and there's going to be kinks that try to move you back. For all of us, just some people just run through them kinks. That's all it is, towards where it is that they think they need to go. Do you know what I'm saying? So that little period there, bruv, is a testing time, man. But I would never change nothing. I wouldn't even take that back, because that shooting led to more insight. It led to wisdom. It led to growth. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can't even take it back. And forgiveness is a beautiful thing, man. I can walk this world, I can walk this land knowing I've forgiven somebody who tried to kill me. There's nothing more powerful than that.
Which a lot of people would want to. They really do want to, but they don't have that strength.
No, you got to claim
courage.
it. You have to claim it, man.
So you know what, Mandem? I'll take this one.
Yeah, you have to claim it. I had to take it. And I remember, I'll give you this. I remember a friend of mine, and this, sometimes you see how other people see you. I remember sitting there one time and a friend of mine telling someone on the phone, maybe the person was asking, right, how come sing? And he said to the dude, nah, that's my guy, man, but that's not him, innit? That's just not him. That's not him. Do you understand? And I appreciate that, man, because that ain't me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that ain't me. It's going to take something extraordinary for me to take a man's life. And you trying to kill me because of your pride. Like the dude that shot me, I don't think I mentioned this to you. He phoned a guy from my neighborhood that went to my school that's a year below me. He rang him the same night I got shot. I said, bro, do you know some guy called Ox? He's from YBM. He thought I was in this group that we were managing at the time. Oh, he's in YBM. He went having it, blood. He went having it. Man pulled up the thing. Man shot him. But he went having it. So man had to boom, 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 boom. From there, it's a wrap. As soon as I got that info that right, he phoned him, it's a wrap. You think people won't speak. It's a wrap. Sometimes you have to stand up as a man and realize something happened to you, and it happened to you for a reason. You might figure that out further down the line why it happened, but be a man. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of our brothers just ain't being men, bro. They ain't being men, man. They're not being men.
They're not. But I believe we learn two ways. We either learn through our very own experience, or we learn through the experience of others.
Yeah.
And that's where role models come in. That's where the likes of you. Someone hearing your story will say, you know what, fam? It's been done before. I'm going to put this thing down.
Yeah. I pray so, fam. I pray so, man.
I'm okay. You know what, fam? I got sectioned. Maybe I shouldn't take the medication like Ox said.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Mum, I love you. So we appreciate you, bro.
No, it's love, bro, man. I appreciate you, bro. Like I said to you, you lot are doing some good work here, man.
No,
so,
you know what? We don't even say it like that. we're just doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, give thanks.
It's just simple as that. Any regrets through your
man.
movie lifestyle?
No regrets, man. No regrets, bro. No regrets, man. No regrets at all, man. Because literally every single little thing, we don't even realize it, bro. I told you one of the things that I was really angry about, yeah, in the midst of my depression, yeah. This used to, remember I said to you, I was arguing with a friend of mine when I got sectioned the second time, when the police and the nurses came, yeah?
Yeah.
One of the things I was angry about, and a lot of people might relate to this, yeah, when I was in a really like dark place, I used to always think to myself, why did I give them man so much of my time? Like, what did I get from that? Like, what did I do there? Like, why did I spend so much time with this one? Or why did I spend so much time with that one? And I didn't learn nothing from their man. And look where I am now, and they're not here. And they ain't going through this thing that I'm going through. Like, they're not depressed, and they ain't been sectioned, and this ain't happening to them. They ain't lost all this money, and they ain't broke, or they ain't got all these things. But that burnt me for time. It burnt me for time. And then the realization, and God helped me get the understanding of every single little person or people that come into your life, every action, it was all for a reason. That was parts of the flame that was there to shape you. You know, when they say you got gold has to go through the flame for it to be, that's part of it. Every single thing was part of the fire that shaped you and molded you and made you be the gold that's come out. Do you get what I'm saying? Or the diamond that's come out from the pressure that's crushed. There's no part of that crushing that can be regretted. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because every single little bit of that crushing and every bit of that fire was needed for that thing for the gold to come out. How the gold's meant to come out pristine. Do you see what I'm saying? So I got no regrets, man. The only thing I can really say is maybe I wish I might have acted more honourable in certain places. Like I said to you, I didn't think I ever told you, when I got sectioned in 2010, I ended up hitting one of my friends, and it was over an argument. And there's certain little things that I've apologised for, but these certain little things, they're actions that you can't take back, but they're what shaped what went on. It's part of it. So you can't really have no regrets, man. Can't really have no regrets. From when you're alive and you're here, breathing, you're healthy. Nah, man, you're in the mix. You're in the mix. You're in life. You're here. You just got to flip and grab it. Make your plan and go get it.
Make your plan and go get it. Before we finish off, bro, that's your camera.
Yeah, man.
What advice would you give them out there? What advice to go through life, to better themselves, to be where you are?
One of the most important things, yeah, get comfortable looking in the mirror at yourself. Yeah, when I say that, I don't mean literally. I don't just mean literally the mirror. Yeah, the mirror, your soul. Like, because your heart tells you things. Your heart tells you when this is wrong or when this is right, or your heart will tell you you're walking down a particular road that's not for you. Listen to your heart. Learn to love. Like, learn to love. I mean, genuinely, I'm not talking of the lustful love. Learn to love. Like, that genuine love that you have for your brethren, that genuine one, that should be the love that we all have for one another. If we're talking about it takes a community to raise these children, how can we raise these children when we ain't got no love for one another? Because for us to raise each other's children, we need to have respect for one another. There's a friend of mine, he sees my daughter certain times when she's coming from school because he's picking up his daughter. He stops and he sees her, she stops, she shows him respect. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? These little things is what builds our kids. Being able to be told, I used to be scared that my dad's friends or somebody would tell my dad if they saw me out at a particular time or doing a particular thing. Now you got kids that will walk on the road with a spliff in their hand and they don't care if they see their brethren's dad. They will bun the spliff in front of their brethren's dad. Do you understand? There's a lack of respect for ourselves, and that lack of respect for ourselves has gone into our children. So we want to see something different in our kids. We have to see something different in ourselves first. And that's as simple as it is. Learn to love yourself. Learn to respect yourself. Really respect yourself. Because if you really respected yourself, you wouldn't be doing certain things. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So learn to respect yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to look into the mirror at yourself. Look into your soul and respect it. Respect what it's telling you. If it's telling you, no, that's not for you. Them people that you're rolling with, that's not for you. Or that move you want to make, that's not for you. Respect it, because that's God. Whether you believe it or not, that's God, man. So learn to love yourself, learn to love one another, man. And I'll leave it at that, man.
Wow. Yeah. That's yeah, I don't even know how to finish that, bro.
That's love, man.
That's powerful. We appreciate you, bro.
Nice love,
really, really do.
Nice
Blessings to you, the
Nice love,
family, the little one, the missus.
Give thanks, man. I'm so appreciative, man, of your time.
Oh man, no. We've done it. All right, so
Thanks, man.
I normally don't close the show. I don't even know how you're gonna top closing the show. That's your camera again. Close it anyhow you want to close it. You can drop some bars. You can sing, do whatever, bro. Just close it anyhow you want to close it, bro.
I'll probably just close it with a prayer, man.
Let's go.
I'll close it with a prayer, man. I just wanted to say thank you, Lord, for bringing us all here today, man. And anybody that watches this, if you see this, know that today we've spoke with love. We've spoke because there's things that's happening in this world that we want to change, and we know God's a big part of that. Whether or not you believe in God, and whether or not you walk with Allah, you walk with Christ, just know that God loves you. There's only one creator, and he brought you on this earth to follow your purpose. And Lord, I just ask you to continue to walk on this earth and walk with people and put more love into this world. And I pray that prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your guest, Francis. Ox has been the host. Powerful one. Till next time, love, peace, and happiness.
Give thanks.
Thank you.
Stories of an adolescent. Grew up with my mother missing. Wondering as days went by, does she ever miss me? Of course she does, but I wondered, often like an orphan does. Yeah, they saw me and they wonder what those tears was for. Those was tears of love, a love that I never knew. Yeah, I cried when I wrote this song's for you. I'm still your son, yeah, I'm here trying to make it through. So vulnerable, moving like your son should do. Admittedly, a couple hearts, yeah, I broke a few. But I suffered too, at the hands of trust. That feeling that you get when you lose the lot. That feeling kind of feel like a cobra clutch. You get colder and you kind of don't talk as much. That's the feeling of love. That love you miss. This one's for the realest. I ain't stunning a bit.
Cheese.
With love, man.
With love. I thought he was going to drop something.
No bars, man. This is conversation, man.
This conversation, but you see, but rap, what does the acronym RAP stand for?
You tell me.
Is it not rhythm and poetry?
I'm not too sure.
Huh?
Not too sure.
What's rap stand for?
That's the first time I've heard that still.
Yeah, I'm sure rap stand.
You're schooling me.
Rhythm and poetry, so that's form of spoken.
Rap is poetry.
Yeah,
rap is poetry.
You look at JB's looking it up. I'm sure rap stands for rhythm and poetry. I could be wrong, but I think
if it didn't, I think it should do.
Yeah, so therefore it is a form of spoken, but just conversation, but a bit sped up in terms of bars. JB, what does rap stand for? Or was checking something else clearly?
Rhythm and poetry. All right.
What are you looking for about?
I'll give you this, yeah? I'll give you this.